If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description.
Damn, Saweetie is salty. Now, she just dropped a new EP called The Single Life. Well, not just now, but like 2 weeks ago. For example, on the track Don't Say Nothing, you probably saw this. She again kind of hinted at the whole Quavo cheating thing, which is like, you know, to drop that 2 weeks after Takeoff died, a little insensitive, even though I also understand the perspective of Quavo being out there publicly talking about it and she not being able to represent her side. But that's not even the interesting part. The interesting part is how little this thing sold, because only a couple of days after release, we had a report from DJ Academics. Now, I know this is not the best source, and he did say that this has not been independently, proven by them, but there were reports that she only sold 2,000 copies first week. Now, 2,000 is not a lot. Not for someone like Saweetie, who's been, who has like 10 million monthly listeners on Spotify, who had, chart topping, I don't know if they were actually chart topping, but definitely in the charts, hits. She was like nominated for Best New Artist, all of that. Also, she dated Quavo, like a bunch of just celebrity big star stuff you do. For you to only sell 2K is pretty rough. Now, I'm not saying that is because of the Quavo breakup, but there might be a component to it. I also found it funny that people in the comments on that post were like, bro, I just sold 2K and nobody knows me, which is actually pretty true because, people sell 2K and you never hear about them because, people can sell 2K. I'm not trying to say easily, but it's not as surprising as if, Saweetie sells 2K. But even that is not the very juicy details about this, because after that happened, Sonny Digital, who you might know, he also, back in the day provided a little information on Don the 2. I remember he was involved in the studio as well, but he had some stuff to say about this. Being someone that has been in the industry and knows it, pretty well, he had some interesting stuff to say about this. Well, first of all, he said, and he didn't name drop Saweetie, but it's kind of clear who he was talking about. He said 13 million followers, which is, how many followers Saweetie has. Hundreds of thousands likes on all pictures, but albums sold less than 2,000 copies. That's crazy. The math ain't adding up, and that is very true. Now, he also went on to say, if I had millions of followers and my album sold 2K, I probably would just delete all my social media because y'all lying to me. And that is so true. Like, and she apparently took this differently. She took this very offensively. But we're going to get into her reaction to this in a second. But first of all, I'm going to say this is facts, man. Like, if you have hundreds of thousands of people liking your pictures and then you sell 2,000, you are somehow not able to convert those fans into actual listeners to your music well enough. And I'm not saying it's her fault. She's run by a label, she's run by some A&R, but apparently they didn't do, well of a job. Hitmaker also commented on the whole A&R thing, but we're not going to get into that today. It would completely blow the frames of what this video would do. But I also want to add a comment from Jays, who said, the fact that you're looking at the statement, so the statement from Sonny Digital, as hating, quote unquote, instead of a legitimate question coming from an industry veteran is wild. Y'all off though, I guess. And this is also facts, because people immediately took that as yo, he's taking shots at Saweetie. Nah, he's just asking a question. How is that adding up? How do you have 13 million followers and you can't market your EP well enough to sell more than 2K? Now, I'm not aware if it actually sold more than 2K after the official numbers came out, but apparently it's really low. And apparently they're way below what we thought Saweetie could pull off first week, because she actually had a pretty all right trajectory in her career. And how did this happen? I'm not saying it's because of the Quavo breakup, but it might be. So that was all that happened with those replies. And now Saweetie finally clapped back, because she went on Twitter to quote-unquote address this, even though not specifically. But for example, one tweet was, hate parade, I must be that bitch. And I don't know if it's hate parade again. Now, I know there were some other tweets, but the ones by Sonny Digital were the big ones, so maybe she's referencing those, in which case that would not be hating at all. She also went on to say, I make music for pretty bitches. If you can't relate, I understand. And what kind of excuse is that? What kind of excuse is that for you selling 2,000 copies first week? And so, my man, I didn't know him before this tweet, but he became my man EZ, who is also known as Ezra, replied to this. Damn, I didn't know it was only 2,000 pretty bitches in the world. My man going ham. Now this was a savage reply to this one. But it doesn't stop here. Saweetie actually replied back to this unknown dude, to Ezra EZ, because she replied to his comment under her tweet by posting a picture of his Spotify, and he has one song up there with 1 monthly listener, and she took that picture and said, I hope all 2,000 support you, babes. How pathetic is that? You are replying to some random dude's comment under your tweet by going to his Spotify. So she legit went on his Twitter page. He probably had his Spotify in his bio or whatever, and she clicked on it, opened it, saw that he only had 1 monthly listener because he has one song out, maybe just for fun. You know, people put stuff up on Spotify just for fun, and then, you know, all their friends listen to it, and after a couple of months, they only got 1 monthly listener left. So that's like a natural thing. He's apparently not taking his stuff seriously. And she then needs to reply back to him and attach the screenshot of his Spotify page. To me, that is really pathetic. That just shows that you're weak and not able to take criticism by some random guy on the internet. Apparently, he really hit you somewhere where it hurt. And apparently, that confirms she only sold 2K because she did say, I hope all 2,000 support you. Now, I actually did listen to that EZ track, Vintage. That's actually pretty dope. And a lot of people also posted in the comments under Saweetie's reply to that one that they're listening to the track. So he probably got more than 1 monthly listener right now. The last tweet from Saweetie, I don't know how I'm supposed to understand this, but she posted, icy, a mentality, strong, ambitious, never folding under pressure, pretty. Yeah, I don't know about that. It seems like she's just trying to push this icy girl image, but apparently only 2,000 pretty bitches want to listen to it. I don't know. I mean, her selling that low was already enough, you know, attention, but she then replying to this man's tweet and just making a fool out of herself is completely just the cherry on top. So it's funny. I guess, Saweetie's kind of done with now. Not doing well commercially, also not doing well, just in hip-hop because now she's looked at as a clown. So I don't know. Apparently, Saweetie doesn't have a lot of true fans. Speaking of true fans, though, if you go to the Benz Music shop, which is right in the, YouTube merge bar under the video, you can use code TRUEFAN to get 20% off of these incredibly warm, made for the wintertime hoodies, and you're supporting your boy. So code TRUEFAN, go get this shit. So that's it for this video, man. Now, let me know what you think about this. Are you are you sided with like me on this or with Saweetie on this? What's your take on this, on everything that's been like, happening surrounding this? I think Saweetie's just making a fool of herself and is being a very sore loser and just very pathetic. I'm gonna just say it like that. I'm gonna be straight with y'all. So let me know all your thoughts, all your comments, all your, theories, opinions on this in the comments down below.
If you watched this video to the end and liked it and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day and you'll take care.